Machiavelli's The Prince, page 22. I bring up the greatest examples for men almost always. Page 24. The lukewarmness arises partly from the fear of adversaries who have the laws on their side, and partly from the incredulity of men who do not truly believe in new things unless they come to have a firm experience of them. Consequently, whenever those who are enemies have opportunity to attack, they do so with partisan zeal, and the others defend lukewarmly, so that one is in peril along with them. It is, however, necessary, if one wants to discuss this aspect well, to examine whether these innovators stand by themselves or depend on others. That is, whether to carry out their deed they must beg or indeed can use force. In the first case, they always come to ill and never accomplish anything, but when they depend on their own and are able to use force, then it is that they are rarely in peril. From this it arises that all the armed prophets conquered and the unarmed ones were ruined. For besides the things that have been said, the nature of peoples is variable, and it is easy to persuade them something, but difficult to keep them in that persuasion. And thus things must be ordered in such a mode that when they no longer believe, one can make them believe by force. Moses, Cyrus, Theseus, and Romulus would not have been able to make their peoples observe their constitutions for long if they had been unarmed, as happened in our times to Brother Girolamo Savonarola. He was ruined in his new orders as soon as the multitude began not to believe in them, and he had no mode for holding firm those who had believed, nor making unbelievers believe. Such men as these, therefore, find great difficulty in conducting their affairs. All their dangers are along the path, and they must overcome them with virtue. But once they have overcome them, and they begin to be held in veneration, having eliminated those who had envied them, for their quality they remain powerful, secure, honored, and happy. To such high examples I want to add a lesser example, but it will have some proportion with the others, and I want it to suffice for all other similar cases. This is Hiero of Syracuse. From private individual he became Prince of Syracuse, nor did he receive anything more from fortune than opportunity. For when the Syracusians were oppressed, they chose him as their new captain, and from there he proved worthy of being made their prince. And he was of such virtue, even in private fortune, that he who wrote of him said that he lacked nothing of being a king except a kingdom. Hiero eliminated the old military and organized a new one. He left his old friendships and made new ones, and when he had friendships and soldiers that were his own, he could build any building on top of such a foundation. So he went through a great deal of trouble to acquire and little to maintain. Chapter 7 of New Principalities that are acquired by others, Arms and Fortune. Those who become princes from private individual solely by fortune, because so with little trouble but maintained. All right, we'll come back to chapter 7 in a second.